so perfect for getting around my plants. And I am raking up the leaves under my Japanese maple tree. So I decided to go ahead and clean up this bed today, really get all those leaves out of there to avoid any slugs or snails or buggies that might be overwintering in this bed. Of course, the Aussie Doodles, Max and Milo, are full on helping me today in the yard. They were out with me the entire time I was out working in the yard today. I decided to drain and move the bird bath that is in this garden bed. It was just time for a change, and I really needed to access the plant that was back here because it's time for it to move as well. So this plant is called a black lace elderberry, and it is supposed to get huge. Now, I kind of knew that planting it in this spot. It's been here for 2 seasons, but it was definitely time to get it out of here. The taproot was really difficult to get out, and I needed to move it someplace away from the house, someplace where it would get a lot more space and room to grow. This black lace elderberry has really beautiful foliage. It's kind of a dark purpley color, but I will tell you, even though the blooms are gorgeous, they stink. I've tried to use them in cut flower arrangements and they smell like cat pee. So that's the other reason I wanted to, move it away from the house, and I'm going to be planting a hydrangea here instead. My winter garden is doing all right. These cabbage plants I noticed were starting to get a little bit of bug damage, so I went ahead and trimmed down all of the bottom leaves. And then these are actually my garlic, and they have sprouted a little early. I decided to just clean up the tops and kind of just, do a little weeding in this bed and just get it cleaned up. My bed of broccoli is also doing really well. It's starting to develop some heads on the top of the broccoli, but again, I went through and trimmed all the bottom leaves just so that the plant could really focus on producing the vegetable up at the top, and just in case there's any bugs along the ground or slugs or snails, they don't have that avenue to get up to the top of the plant. Since it's been such a mild winter here in the Pacific Northwest, there were so many weeds in this bed, so I really spent some time pulling weeds and trying to clean up this garden bed. Well, I debated whether I was going to do any talking in this video, and the minute I start talking, the dogs start barking. So there's that. The sun's out. I'm outside. It's beautiful, fresh air. It's the day after Christmas. I plan to be out here as long as I can today. I'm glad I'm doing this though, because I'm finding some issues in the garden. I'm finding some disease and moving some things. Just being outdoors and enjoying, but I'm gonna keep finishing up my strawberries right now. And is that a mailman? Delivery? Something. The dogs are going crazy. Yeah, I'm getting a lot done, so I'm gonna keep going. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? Not really sure. I'm gonna say foe. Kind of wish I had my chickens still. They would take care of it for me. All right, back to strawberries now. Strawberries. Oh, it's so muddy. It's just mud. It's just wet and mud, but that's okay because the sun is out. These gloves with the flannel lining they're amazing. My hands are so warm and they're working really well. Okay, back to these strawberries now. Unfortunately, in my strawberry beds, I found a lot of disease. There was a lot of mold, mildew, and also aphids. So after I trimmed everything back, I went through with some neem oil and gave all the strawberry beds a really good spray down. I'm hoping that cutting back all the foliage of the strawberries will also help to rebound the plants and so that they will be fresh for the spring. So I think I'm going to go ahead and trim my hydrangeas today, because unlike other areas of the country where these look nice all winter long, here they're just mush and mold because of all the moisture we get. So I'm gonna just get rid of these and trim them back. And you can see the plant is green in there and healthy, but I think it's time to let these go today. And then I'm gonna clean up this bed, because what happened is a bunch of my bulbs started to sprout already. So I think what I need to do is clean up the drumstick alliums, like trim them down, and then I'm gonna cover this whole bed with some dirt, I think. I don't know. And I gotta keep my dogs out of there, because my dogs are literally running over all the bulbs that I planted. So I gotta figure this. See, there's a dog back there. See the dog? I gotta figure this out today. So I'm gonna cut back the hydrangeas, and I'm going to try to figure out how to fence off this area for now. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. So alliums are in the onion family, and it was really weird as I was trimming back these little shoots. They smelled like onions, almost like chives. So I had very oniony hands when I was done with this task. Next up, I moved over to my Vigo garden beds. Now, I had planted up a planting here for the fall of some perennials. So here I'm digging those up and just freshening up the bed. I will be putting some compost on top of these beds as well. But I'm removing some heucheras, some ferns, some other perennials from these beds to place in my shade garden. Although one of my Vigo garden beds is filled with bulbs, the other 3 are going to be all ready and prepped for the spring season for my cut flower garden. I'm super excited. Okay, I wanted to stop for a second and talk about this hydrangea that my dog's trying to eat. Hey, no. I'm gonna go in now, and I kind of just deadheaded everything, but now I'm gonna go in and really try to like remove any of the spindly branches and things that are like crossing each other. Like this branch here is crossing this other one. So I'm gonna eliminate one of those. So it's kind of like akin to trimming like a rose a little bit. Get out of here. And then I'm gonna remove from the base any branches that just look like they're really, still has a string on it, that they're just, like I wanted the focus to be on some of these bigger branches. So I'm gonna go ahead and prune this thing pretty hard. So I'll try to get the camera in a little closer so I can kind of show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm looking for like really kind of weak stems that are kind of in the middle here. And I'm gonna just kind of thin things out from the center and try to create a little bit more, I guess, like an outward vase kind of thing happening. And yeah, get rid of any kind of like little spindly, I mean, they all look a little spindly, but if they're like crossed or things that are growing like more into the center, I want them to go like out. So like right in here, I feel like this could go, this could go, actually this whole branch could go. And then these, I don't know if you can see, it's so hard to see, but these two are, they're crossing. So they're like rubbing right here. So one of those needs to stay and one needs to go, because that's not good for the plant. I mean, I can untangle them a little bit, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and let go. I'm gonna take this down even further and let go of that branch so that I get that one to stay. So it's kind of just fiddling around and making some decisions now for the overall health of this hydrangea in the future, because it is still a baby. So I want to make good decisions now for it so that it has stronger buds, stronger branches, and bigger blooms, because that's the goal, is to get some nice big blooms. And I think today is actually a perfect day to do this. Okay, so I'm kind of looking over here. There's a lot going on. So I think I'm going to leave that branch. And this one. Take that down a little bit. I think I'm going to eliminate this one. And this is the third year that I've had this hydrangea in the ground. So I would not be trying to do this like the first year that I planted it. So my other ones, I did not do this, you know, severe of a prune, the ones I had just put in the ground this last summer, but this one's been in the ground. This will be its third year. So I feel like I can take it a little bit harder than I have the other one. I'm gonna get rid of that. So just be bold. It's a plant, it'll bounce back, right? You can't totally hurt it, I don't think. I mean, you could, but it'll be fine. It'll still give you beautiful flowers, some fertilizer, some water in the summer, some love. And if you are worried about it, just, you know, groom it kind of cautiously, and you can always take it back a little bit further next year if you're concerned about it. So I think that looks pretty good. So you can see I didn't take very much out here. I didn't take very much, but just enough. Looks a lot better. Spending this day in my yard was so therapeutic for me, being out in the sunshine, enjoying the nice weather of December, getting some things done in the yard. It was a really, really wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.